Welcome back to the Open Wheel Offline League, Season 5, Round 11. We're over halfway through the season already as we return to Germany, but this time at the Nurburgring, not the full 16-mile circuit, but 3-mile road course circuit used in F1. Qualifying just about to get underway. Here are the 14 drivers that take part in this first group: Carlos Huertas, Louis Foster, Justin Allgaier, Robbie Lord, last race winner Nolan Siegel, Benjamin Peterson, Marcus Armstrong, Ryan Preece, Alessio Deletta, Guy Gagne, Lawless Allen, Dawa Tenzin, Nico Hulkenberg, and Glubler Lore. First car already out on track, and it's the 14 of Justin Allgaier. Justin Allgaier having back-to-back top fives, with a win at Spa and a fifth place at Zandvoort. His season seemed to have struggled to get underway for the first half of it, at least. Two podiums, but the rest were DNFs or just nothing special or some kind of pit issue where strategy went horribly wrong. So now finding himself with some good luck, he's no longer the lowest in points on his team, and Rookie of the Season honors starting to fall in his favor as he sits 8th in the standings. Through the chicane, and then this is the part where it would turn on to the 16 mile uh, monolith of a race circuit, as downhill into the very tight turn 1 hairpin that goes into the Mercedes section. First car to have taken the green. Gonna have to see what Guy Gagne compares to, as he is the second car out, and then Nolan Siegel. So two Viking racing cars behind him. Right now, Gagne not as quick. Nolan Siegel also not as quick. So some good signs for the 14 there. He does have a slower car in front of him, however, and that is 7 of Carlos Huertas. I believe all cars are out on track now. You can see on the mini-map. Right now, Gagne and Siegel appear to be outpacing the 14 throughout most of the lap. Don't know if they'll be getting 1 or 2 laps here. Gonna have to see, as Justin Allgaier's first lap is a 1:30.3. So that is the time to beat. Here comes Guy Gagne around the final turn. And this one will be a 1:31.4, so a good bit slower. Siegel, however, is going to put it under 1:30. He's going to go 1:29.8, first one to go under 1:30. Globler Lore has been having issues in qualifying as of recent, trying to turn it around here today. First lap, not going to be very promising, 1:34.2. The 18 of Robbie Lore, 1:32.5, not much better. Dawa Tenzin will go 6th, and Marcus Armstrong, pink in every sector but the first. See what he's got here. It will be to the top, 1:29.6, just 2 tenths quicker than Nolan Siegel. Armstrong looking for 4 straight poles, but has not been able to convert a single one of them. Has gotten 2 podiums out of it. It's not quite what he's looking for. Deletta will go 5th with a 132.2. That puts Robbie on the cutoff with a 132.5. Priest now going to put himself on the cutoff 132.4. Carlos Huertas has the 14 right behind him. Allgaier not going to go quicker, as Huertas will be the bubble 132.3. Lawless Allen, as he's actually going to bump in, he will go to 5th, 132.0. Trying to make it to round 2 for the first time. Gagne not going to go quicker here, so everyone's getting at least 2 laps it seems. Siegel not going to go quicker. Here comes Louis Foster in the number 10. Struggled to get out of round 1 at Zandvoort. He'll go 5th there. Glubler looking for some more pace. This one's going to be better, but going to stay down in 11th. Robbie going to cross the line. This one is slower than what he previously ran. Tenzin going to go a bit quicker, but still in 12th. Armstrong not looking much quicker. No, it'll be about a second slower. Peterson now will come across the line. This one will go 5th, and that's going to bump out Lawless Allen. So time to beat is Louis Foster's 131.87. Deletta not going to go quicker here. Nico Hulkenberg team might be shutting down soon. He's going to go last, unfortunately. Ryan Priest to 4th, so a big jump there. Justin Allgaier going to stay out for a 3rd lap here. So you can push on your lap count. Behind Gagne, we have the 19 and 92. Gagne will go just a little bit quicker, but will not improve position. Louis Foster below the cutoff by a 10th, trying to beat out Benjamin Peterson. And he's going to do this pretty safely. He's going to go 4th. That puts Gagne in the bubble with 131.4. Lubler will come into the pits, so will Robbie. You've only got about 30 seconds to turn around and go back out before you're going to run out of time. Peterson just slightly below the cutoff. Needs to find about 2/10 here. Does he have enough? Does not look like it. Deletta's going to come in. Hulkenberg team facing bankruptcy. There's pretty much seems to be no way they can really save it unless he gets a huge donation somewhere. So it looks like this is probably the end for barbershop haircut racing. Got about 2 races left before they cannot go forward, as everyone will be coming in. And I just do not think there's enough time for anyone to go back out, so I think Guy Gagne is going to slip through by just a couple of tenths. Foster's going to come to the line trying to go quicker, will not go quicker here. Armstrong looks to be on top. Will Benjamin Peterson come in this time? Yes, he will, so he's not going to be able to advance. As checkered flag will come out. Nobody on a true lap right now. Foster is going around, but we assume he will be coming in this time. So Cars advancing will be led by the 33 of Marcus Armstrong, looking for 4 straight poles, 6 on the season, as Nolan Siegel will go second, trying to back up his win. Justin Allgaier, Louis Foster will advance. Ryan Priest gonna advance, and then Guy Gagne just gonna slip through in 6th, as your cars eliminated. Gonna be starting 13th for the 29 of Benjamin Pearson, 15th for the 92 of Lawless Allen, 17th for Alessio Deletta, 19th for Carlos Huertas, 21st for Robbie Lohr, and his brother Glubler will be in 23rd, 1 row behind him. 25th will be Dawa Tenzin, and then 27th will be Nico Hulkenberg in his second to last start. That is confirmed this season. So that is it for round 1 Group A. We'll be back in just a moment for round 1 Group B. Back for round 1 Group B, as here are the drivers taking part in this session: Shane Van Gisbergen, Connor Zilich, Chet Jordan, Miles Rowe, Dorian Pinn, Lindsey Brewer, Francesco Draconi, Tinkle McStinkle, Mahavir Raghunathan, Devlin DiFrancesco, Ethan Martz, Stingray Robb, Brennan Hubbard, and David Malukas. So these 14 about to hit the track. Points leader Shane Van Gisbergen in this group. As the 53 is the first car out, let's go on board with him for a lap. Might not get the cleanest lap as he has the 99 right behind him and the 49 just up the road. Eventide Racing also kind of a little strapped for cash recently with the damage costs. Just needs some good fortune. Miles Rowe has brought home 2 top 10s this season, but the 53 best result of 13th on 2 separate occasions. As this is now a cluster of cars. Stingray Rob currently has the pink in the first sector. Not in the second sector though, that's going to stay with the 53 team. They are all on top of each other. The 53's first lap doesn't look like it's going to be anything super good. First lap will be a 136.5 hover to 136.2 as here comes Stingray. Look at Van Gisbergen, 4 pinks. No one even in his zip code right now. Stingray only a 134.1 in his first sector. As here comes DeFrancesco. Gonna be a bit slower. And now the number 1. Gonna go to the top, 129.6 the time to beat. Chet Jordan is keeping up some good pace with him. So, gonna see what the time to beat is set by either the 53 or the 76. That's gonna be the 53's time of 136.5 on the cut. But here comes the 24 of Chet Jordan. Not gonna go to the top, 130.7. Miles Rowe had a little bit of an off in turn 1, so I'm not too sure if this lap's gonna count for him, as he will hit the line and it will not count, as Raghunathan gonna completely miss the turn. This lap will also not count for him. 2 top 10s in a row. Not gonna be able to keep it on the track that time, as here comes Draconi coming around to the line. This is going to go third, as the 53 and 99 both move up, but still the 99 on the cutoff, 134.5. Dorian Pin trying to not be knocked out in round 1 again, 132.1. Stingray on the bubble. Gonna go quicker, but not gonna get off of the bubble. Here comes Lindsay Brewer now, gonna put herself on the bubble with a 133.4. Van Gisbergen not gonna go quicker this time. DeFrancesco goes quicker, but will not improve position. Zilich now coming around the final turn. Right now looking like a good lap, and I think this one might go to the top. Yes, it will, by about 7/100ths of a second. Ethan Mart's now on the bubble. He's going to go quicker, but going to stay in 6th. Chet Jordan goes quicker, no improvement on position, however. Here comes Malukas to the line. This one will go 6th, so 132.76 now the time to beat. Miles Rowe, first official lap. It's going to be at the bottom. So 13th as of now. Raghunathan, the only one without a lap so far. Not going to be enough to get in, but going to go 10th. Draconi will move up a position. He goes 4th. Dorian Pin looking quicker here. This one's going to go to 3rd, so 130.38. Stingray going to come in this time. Not going to be much time to go back out, so that may be it for him. Brewer looking for a bit more pace. Not going to find it. Zilch on top has 3 pink sectors currently. As this one will be a 129.0. So good lap for the number 9 team. Jordan gonna come around but not gonna go quicker. Malukas could try and get even safer. He's gonna go up to 5th. That puts Draconi on the bubble, 132.0. Miles Rowe gonna come into the pits, so that 136.1 is gonna be all that he has. As time on the clock has almost expired, I don't think we're gonna be seeing any more improvements at this point. As checkered flag. Just seeing if any of these guys go quicker, but they are all safe into the next round. As Balukas will come in, so Connor Zilich gonna lead his group with a 129.0, faster by over half a second than Group A. So Zilich on top. Second is Shane Van Gisbergen. Third is his teammate Dorian Pinn, not getting knocked out in round 1 this time. Fourth, Chet Jordan. Fifth will be David Malukas. And then last card to advance will be the 49 of Francesco Draconi. Only one from Banshees of Little Miami to advance into round 2 this race. So eliminated starting 14th will be Ethan Martz. 16th will be Lindsey Brewer. 18th will be Stingray Robb. 20th will be Mahavir Raghunathan. 22nd will be Brennan Hubbard. Very disappointing qualifying effort there. 24th will be McStinkle. 26th will be DeFrancesco. And then going to be starting at the tail end of the field will be the 37 of Miles Rowe. That's it for round 1. We'll be back in just a moment for round 2. Back for round two. Here are the 12 drivers that advanced out of round one. Shane Van Gisbergen, Connor Zilic, Louis Foster, Justin Allgaier, Nolan Siegel, Chet Jordan, Marcus Armstrong, Dorian Pinn, Francesco Draconi, Ryan Preece, Guy Gagne, and David Malukas. About to see who is going to make the Fast Six. As first to leave the pits will be the 49 of Francesco Draconi. Let's go on board. Awkward entry into the turn as we have a train forming behind this 49 with Van Gisbergen, Allgaier, and Siegel. Which could provide for something interesting. Right now, Van Gisbergen has the pink sector. He's going to try and pass into the hairpin, but going to get cut off there as everyone's pretty much come out in two groups. There's a second group going down, now coming towards turn one. This could make things a little interesting. As a number one, gonna try and go for a move there, and he's going to get it. So he's gonna come to the line first, and his first lap will be a 134.4. Draconi, his lap did not count for whatever reason. Village now tracking pink. Gonna have to see what Zilic has here coming around the final turn. And his first lap Gonna be a 130.2. Good lap there. Chet Jordan 131.1. David Malukas must have gone off as Priest 132.8. A lot of times just came in as we have shenanigans going on here. Shane Van Gisbergen looking much quicker now. And this lap is going to go to the top 130.2. Allgaier 131.7. Siegel 132.8. Draconi 133.3. Right now, Ganyeva bubble time 132.1, just ahead of his teammate Nolan Siegel. Village pink in the second sector. Looking like a quick lap from the number 9. Going to come around the final turn here. And we'll hit the line with a 129.1. So by about a second, going to go to the top. Chet Jordan going to have a quick lap here. Going to stay in third. Ryan Priest down in 8th, trying to bump in. And this one's going to move up to 4th, but is it going to be good enough? Dorian Pinn going to go 5th, not as quick. Foster 4th, Armstrong 5th. Malukas, only car without a time so far. He's going to come to the line, and it will be a 133.5 currently at the bottom. But right now, Ryan Priest on the cutoff with a 131.34 as Allgaier going to go second, just 6,000 slower. Siegel now going to go 4th. That bumps out Armstrong below the cutoff by a 1/10. Armstrong has not qualified worse than 6th this season, as he is in the middle of some pretty heavy traffic. Village doesn't look like he's going quicker this lap. Chet Jordan enters pit lane. Ryan Priest gonna enter pit lane. Armstrong looking better. Will he be able to bump in, or will it be Louis Foster that gets bumped out once again to the line? And it is not quicker. Marcus Armstrong, as of now, is not advancing into the Fast 6 for the first time this season. Nolan Siegel coming around the final turn. Not going to go quicker this time. He stays 4th. Zilch and Armstrong, the only cars still out. Draconi trying to get back to the line so he can do one more lap. But I think time's going to expire on him. As checkered flag, Draconi does not make it back to the flag, so he will be eliminated. Zillich going to come in. He's the quickest in the session. Nobody looking like they're going to go quicker. Armstrong going to come here, and this will be his worst qualifying effort of the season. I mean, if your worst qualifying effort's 7th, then that's not that bad. But now Justin Allgaier is the only driver that's going to make the Fast 6 every single time. So your cars advancing to the Fast Six going to be led by Connor Zilich. Justin Allgaier going to be the only one that's made it every single time. Shane Van Gisbergen going to be in third. Nolan Siegel fourth. Chet Jordan fifth. And then the last car to advance is going to be the 10 of Louis Foster. So eliminated, going to be starting seventh will be Armstrong, his lowest of the season. Eighth, once again, for Ryan Preece. He's getting very accustomed to that row. Gagne is also getting pretty accustomed to ninth. 10th for Dorian Pin. 11th for Francesco Draconi. And then 12th, last in this group, will be the 04 of David Malukas. So that is it for round two. We'll be back in just a moment for your Fast Six. Back for the Fast Six. Shane Van Gisbergen, Connor Zilich, Louis Foster, Justin Allgaier, Nolan Siegel, and Jet Jordan are your six drivers taking part. Fortunately, our overlay just decided to stop working once again. Trying to keep you up to date. So only two drivers in this Fast Six have gotten a pole this season. Van Gisbergen has three at the Motegi Road Course, The Bend, and Interlagos. Chet Jordan has one at Sebring. Everyone else does not have a pole this season. Zilich's last pole came at Portland last season. Louis Foster's last pole was the Indianapolis 300 last season. And then Allgaier and Siegel have never won a pole before. So they're going to see if they can get there first today. Right now, all 6 drivers pretty evenly spread out. Only one car hasn't left the pits, and that's the number 19 of Nolan Siegel. As Van Gisbergen gonna come around the final turn. Siegel just starts going now. Maybe an attempt to try to hold him up, but Van Gisbergen should get by, maybe not. Oh, a little bit of dirty play from the number 19 of Nolan Siegel. He's gonna let him by there, but that's gonna hurt Van Gisbergen's first lap. Van Gisbergen, pink for the first sector, better than Louis Foster, the only other driver to have completed the first sector at this point. Gonna have to see what Chet Jordan has. As Chet Jordan gonna take the pink from the first sector. So Chet Jordan is on it. Connor Zilic has looked fast all day. Just gonna have to see what he has. We're not gonna see till later. But right now, Chet Jordan looks like he's outpacing Van Gisbergen up to this point. Not going to take his pink that time, but Louis Foster has the pink for the fourth sector as Van Gisbergen going to get to the line here. 1:30.495 is the time to beat. Louis Foster going to come around the final turn. Let's see what he has. 1:31.9, not good enough for pole. Here comes Chet Jordan. Let's see what he has. Looks pretty good. 1:30.45, that is good enough to be on top. But Connor Zilic looks very quick right now. Let's see what he has. 1:29.0 by 1.5 seconds on pole. Gonna have to see if that can be beaten. Right now, Shane Van Gisbergen tracking really well through his first 2 sectors. Allgaier to the line, 1:30.8, only good enough for 4th at this point. The one of Van Gisbergen looks very quick. But he's going to need to find about a 1.5 seconds. Is it good enough to beat Connor Zilic? He's going to come to the line here. And it is good enough by 0.5 seconds. 1:28.6 is the time to beat Nolan Siegel. Going to cross the line. 1:30.6, not good enough. Here comes Louis Foster in the number 10. 1:31.5, still going to be in 6th for the number 10. Chet Jordan coming around the final turn. Is this good enough? It will be better, but he's going to stay 3rd. Zilic not going to be better this time. That game, set, and match. But right now, the 14 of Justin Allgaier looks pretty good. He has a pink in the 2nd sector. As Chet Jordan has gone off track. "20 seconds left on the clock. Allgaier looks good. Is this good enough for pole, however? Only good enough for 3rd. Hasn't quite broken up to the first row yet. Van Gisbergen not looking better. Siegel looks pretty good right now. Checkered flag is out. So current laps will be it. Van Gisbergen not going to go quicker. So that is the time to beat Siegel. Does he have anything? only good enough for fourth, not good enough for pole. Foster comes into the pits, so he does not have any more in it. Zilich and Allgaier are the only guys that could go better. Zilich has green in 2 sectors, but is it good enough? He needs to find about half a second. And it's just not going to come. Chet Jordan went off earlier in his lap, so this lap will not count. Justin Allgaier, last car, but it doesn't look like he's going to go better. As he will come into the pits, he will be starting third, tying his career best. So your provisional starting grid, Shane Van Gisbergen gonna be back to leading us to green tomorrow, as Connor Zilich gonna be on his outside. Gonna be looking for some bold moves into turn 1. Row 2, gonna be Justin Allgaier and Nolan Siegel. And row 3 will be Chet Jordan and Louis Foster. Down to row 4, gonna be directly behind his teammate, will be the 33 of Marcus Armstrong, and next to him, Ryan Preece starts 8th once again. In row 5 is the number 90 of Guy Gagné and Dorian Pin. And then row 6 will be Francesco Draconi. And then on his outside will be David Malukas. Row 7 will be Benjamin Peterson and Ethan Martz in the 76. Row 8 will be his teammate, Lawless Allen and Lindsey Brewer. Row 9 is Alessio Deletta and Stingray Robb, as row 10 is Carlos Huertas and Mahavir Raghunathan. Row 11 is Robbie Lohr and 99 of Brendan Hubbard going to be starting deep in the field. And then row 12 will be Glubler Lohr and Tinkle McStinkle. Down to row 13, we have Dalwa Tenzin and Devlin DiFrancesco. And then rounding out the field in row 14 is going to be Nico Hulkenberg in his second to last start this season, and Miles Rowe. So that is the starting grid for tomorrow's race. Race will be at about 3 p.m. 25 laps should be an exciting one, and I hope to see you guys tomorrow.